concerning the levels of reported incidents that the news tries to cover up, that society tries to cover up, despite these attempts, we still see that the act of racism is prevalent amongst the black people who, for the first time, are using their platforms and their tools to document, to discuss, and to write, articulate, voicing across the concern. And the damage this has done to the black community has been phenomenal, given that the lack of direction has been minimal. However, there has been great attempts to direct black people through the circumstances that may be pressing in modern society revolving around the topic of racism. So the first step to dealing with the situation, you must, and I mean at all costs, take yourself out of the picture. Remove yourself from the equation. Run to the moon. I'm not even playing around with you. The incurable nature of somebody who is racist has been proven to be so evil, so bad intent, to the point where the life of a black man is at stake. And this is what the world tries to deny for as long as they believe racism can be solved just by smiling or just by using a hashtag or joining a march. It is further and beyond that. You must remove yourself from the situation where you feel that there is racism. And this is a tough one to consider because racism is everywhere, and I will not try my best to hide the truth. Racism exists within the schools, it exists within the workplace, it exists within the households, it exists on the streets, it exists in the press, it exists in the media, it is everywhere. So whatever you must do to remove yourself from these environments, please do so. The level of racism needs a source. Just remember that. So by making yourself subject to somebody's guilty pleasure of feeling like they can get the leverage on you because of your background, that source is you feeding it prevalently throughout the day in which you choose to go by. So for as long as you remain that source, and for as long as you realize that removing yourself from the situation will eventually help or perhaps prevent the source from taking any more of your energy or taking any more of your potential, you will really understand how to actually govern your life as the stolen identity that the racist might try to put on you can be retrieved within your own time. Notwithstanding, I understand that you have to work, which is very understandable. I'm not telling anybody to quit their job. I'm just simply telling you, when you do your job, you're doing your job. You're not there to be your boss's friend. They're not your friend. For as long as there's money involved and there's a white hierarchy, just remember, you're not a part of that. You go there, you perform your role, and try to just create a boundary which you are entitled to the point where you don't have to be the dog of your boss who likes to pet you on the head every time he feels like he can use you as an excuse to prove that he is better, not understanding that deep down inside he is insecure and relies on the exploitation of black people in particular in order to gain his status. The second step to dealing with racism is understanding that this is not a battle that can be fought by ourselves. And I call it a battle because that's what it has been. The struggle throughout the past and even till this day has been a very hostile struggle, to the point where perhaps the numbers of black people compared to the numbers of white people would prove to suggest that dealing with this situation by yourself is not the solution. And as a matter of fact, you are putting yourself at on a very dangerous mission if you believe that this problem can be resolved all by yourself and not without the help of the black people and the black resources, along with the black professionals who have actually placed programs and literature and advice and mentorship and resources in place, which we as black people need to learn how to assess and deal with the appropriate cause at hand. The next way I can tell you to deal with the racist system which we may find in America is definitely to stop being so passive about the situation. This is a situation that needs to be attacked or approached. Right? You need to confront the issue because the issue is not your issue. We as black people have done nothing but show white people respect. We've endured their disrespect. We've forgiven them daily. We work towards the day where we can just live in peace to the point where they do not believe that is right within our jurisdiction. So I expand on this point by letting you know that you are not to take in the problems that you did not create. We have enough problems inherent as black people, way too much to be considering the junk that the white racists or white America seem to place on us, as if we are to carry their rotten apples in a basket. The best way that you can ever deal with a problem, or someone who has dealt with a problem, or somebody who has caused a problem, is to really approach it. Not in the same way that they imposed hatred on you, but to develop the articulate manner, to develop the community, to develop the approach and a strategic plan to assess the problem as it stands and to raise the concern. And should the person continue to be in denial about your rights and your situation, then it is your responsibility to elevate that concern towards the people within the community that you serve, so that there is a matter of awareness. And furthermore, as there is awareness being brought to the situation, you will realize that the opportunity to get your story out there can be one which is supported by others who, just like you, are facing the same or similar circumstances. Above everything I have mentioned, I would just advise something very crucial. Black people, we are not alone in this struggle, okay? We have never been alone, all right? We have inherently been going through this for years. It was literally less than 100 years ago until our elders were able to fight and actually develop a pavement for us to walk on without being harassed. And it is very important that we adopt the establishment that we currently have in order to move forward. And if we can just abide by accepting these common principles, or even just this advice, or even just learning about the situation as it stands, the life that we live will be much better.